No, that's not it.
No, that was Take On Me.
NBA Tonight.
Yeah, that's
The show. Oh shit.
Hey guys, it's Wednesday. Welcome to SJU. Dan, Ed, Spencer, Joe. Hey, remember how we did a video called San Diego Comic-Con Wrap Up? We're not done. Every time we're out,
We're double wrapping it.
we're we're double wrapping our Comic-Con coverage. This is kind of cool. Dan got to do this over Comic-Con weekend. We're gonna lead off with a video, which is then gonna spin us off into a thing related to the video. Dan, set us up.
Yes, I got the chance to do an Avengers fantasy draft with two players from the NFL. Melvin Gordon, who is the running back for the LA Chargers, and Ian Thomas, who's a tight end for the Carolina Panthers. It was great to be joined by a couple of fellow specimens and pro athletes.
Yeah, absolutely. You must get tired of just huffing around with us.
I mean, you're a movie fighter.
Yeah, exactly. It's really the same level of skill. Really.
Yeah.
My movie fighting skills versus their athletic prowess.
Same amount of burpees before a game.
Skill on the field. We share a training regimen. We hang out in the gym all the time.
Oh, yeah, all that keto talk. Yeah, oh, jeez.
It gets old.
And I have to
I'm
say,
in ketosis right now. I'm not bragging about it. I'm just telling the truth.
this was super fun, and we had a great time. But I will say, Melvin Gordon took this very seriously.
Awesome.
He had notes. He was like, he was cramming and like prepping strategy, and you'll see how it turns out. But it was a lot of fun. We had a great time, and then we'll come back and do the same thing here.
Cool. Check this out, and we'll be right back.
Hey everybody, Billy Business here. Now, Avengers Endgame hit theaters, and it broke our hearts, but more importantly, it left us without an Avengers team. So today, we are going to do our Marvel Phase 4 Avengers Fantasy Draft. And with me, I have running back from the LA Chargers, Melvin Gordon. I've got tight end Ian Thomas from the Carolina Panthers, and I have Heisman NCAA critic, Pro Bowler,
Thank you.
Dan Murrell.
It's a pleasure to be here with two fellow athletes doing this draft.
Guys, we are going to determine, you have 30 seconds, we have 6 rounds, who is going to be the next great Avengers team for Phase 4. Are you guys ready to pick some Avengers?
Oh, yeah.
All right, so we're going to do this a little randomly. You
Melvin's been strategizing. I'm nervous.
There are notes on here. There are thorough,
And he got it
detailed
flipped over.
dossiers on each players. All right, so we are going to randomly pick what number in the draft you're going to pick. Everybody, please take one card.
This one's calling.
That one's calling you. All right,
guess
Ian,
yourself.
that's up to you. And Dan.
All right. Okay, well, this seems like it's rigged.
So we got first pick, second pick, third pick. We're gonna go with a snake. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, and then 3, 2, 1. Now we should tell everyone at home only living Avengers are eligible. That means, spoilers for Endgame, Iron Man, Black Widow, Cap, they're off the market.
They're gone.
All right, Dan, you've
Yeah.
got 30 seconds on the clock. Pick who's going to be your first Avenger for Dan Murrell's Phase 4 Avengers.
I hate having the first pick because, it's you got to wait a while. You get a lot of people that go after this, and, if your person is if it doesn't quite work out, then your Avengers team is in trouble. So I'm just going to go with straight power and intellect. And I'm going to go with the Hulk. I got to go with the Hulk as my number 1 draft pick.
All right, Ian.
I gotta mark him off. Since he got the Hulk, I gotta go with Thor now.
All right, second round draft pick. Thor going to Ian for Ian's team.
I'm gonna go Spider-Man.
Spider-Man,
we gonna
third
take
choice in the first round. Gentlemen, these are quick first rounds. I have a feeling it's going to heat up.
First round is the fastest.
First round is the fastest.
Definitely.
It's going to get tougher from here. Still a lot of good heroes left on the table. You're going to start our second round. Your second pick.
Whew, I'm gonna go Black Panther.
King T'Challa, he's coming home second round. All right, Ian, it's your choice. 30 seconds on the clock.
I'm gonna go Ant-Man.
Ooh,
Man.
that is a dark horse choice.
Yes,
It is.
He's so far down in this list. I'm like, oh man, I don't even know where you are. All right.
See,
so,
that's what you call a value pick. That's a good
I
pick
gotta
for
have
value. I think
Safe
Ant-Man is a good second round pick. Yeah. And you got another pick coming, one more pick, and then he gets to pick again.
Ant-Man's
So-
incredibly versatile, especially in those Avengers team movies.
Exactly. All right. So, second round. I get 2 in a row here. I think, first of all, I mean, you got to have a sorcerer supreme on your team, right? So I got.
I was deciding between him and Black Panther. I couldn't choose. God,
I gotta go with Doctor Strange.
Master of the Mystic Arts, Doctor Strange.
All right.
To Dan Murrell. Dan,
All
your
right.
pick for round 3.
He's unproven as Captain America, but I'll take Sam Wilson. I'll take Falcon / the new Captain America. I'll take Sam
Wilson / Falcon / new Cap.
Yep.
Kicking it off. So at the halfway mark, Dan, so far your Avengers team consists of the Jade Giant, the Hulk, Master of the Mystic Arts, Doctor Strange, and new Captain America, Sam Wilson. Strong first half for you, Dan. Ian, your third round.
I'm gonna go with Valkyrie.
Ooh.
Valkyrie.
So at the half, you have Ant-Man, Valkyrie, and Thor on your team.
Heavy on Asgardians, but that could be a good strategy.
That could be a good strategy to go all cosmic for your team. All right, it's up to you, my friend. 30 seconds are on the clock.
I'm gonna go Scarlet.
Scarlet Witch.
Yes, sir.
Scarlet Witch. She goes next in the draft. So you have Scarlet Witch, Black Panther, and Spider-Man. You kind of got a little bit of a street level team going on here. Although Scarlet Witch kind of veers a little. She's a little in between cosmic.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
And you got the resources of Wakanda locked in there. Like there's more than just the superheroism there.
I got a lot. You know, it's a lot coming with him now.
Yeah.
All right, so round 4, you get the next pick.
Okay, I'm gonna get I need some good leadership. I'm gonna take Winter Soldier because Star-Lord kind of disappointed me in Avengers. He let his emotions get the best of him. I'm gonna take Winter Soldier.
The always reliable Captain Barnes, Mr. Winter Soldier.
Stability. That stability is important. You need that.
I mean, he's been going strong for over 100 years at this point. So.
I think I'm gonna pick up the War Machine.
Ooh, Rhodey. Rhodey's going in the next round. He goes to Ian's team.
You know, I think this may be a bit of a steal for me. I'm going to take Captain Marvel.
Yeah, I was just about to say, I can't believe one of the most powerful Avengers still on the table.
I think that's a good power.
I had that crossed out.
It's because we said Captain America, and I think you saw Captain and crossed it.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, what a sleeper!
I think I got a steal there.
Crazy.
I think I got a steal there.
All right, Dan, it's your pick again. So
well, let's see what I mean. I've got power
still
here.
Still a lot of heavy hitters left on the table.
I think I've got leadership with the new Captain America. We got magic here. We have brute strength with the Hulk. So I think we need this is kind of a serious team. I think this is kind of a serious team. You know what? There are maybe some other Guardians that people might take ahead, but I think we need a light. I think I need Drax. I think I gotta add Drax in there.
Drax the Destroyer heading to Dan's team.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna pick up the Wasp.
Oh,
Wasp.
clutch.
I think that's a good value there.
That is.
Hope is going to
So you got
Ian's
Ant-Man
team.
and the Wasp?
Yes, sir.
These are your final 2 picks. You got 15 seconds on the clock.
How you say her name? Okoye?
Okoye,
Okoye?
Oh yeah.
Grab her. I need a good fighter.
head of the Dora Milaje. We have Okoye. It's your final pick for your team, man. You got to close it out strong.
I'm gonna go like Rocket, but I'm gonna have to go Hawkeye.
Hawkeye gets the final nod for your
I thought he might be
team.
Mr. Irrelevant, if I'm being honest.
So your Avengers team is set. Ian, close it out. 30 seconds on the clock for your final pick.
Who's left? Let me see. I'm gonna have to go with Rocket.
Rocket.
Since you didn't pick him, I'm gonna have to go with him.
My team would be so perfect with that. I'm so much finesse right now. God.
I gotta get him.
All right, Dan.
All right,
30
it's down to
seconds on
me,
the
huh?
clock.
All right.
Still a couple big names left on this list. A lot of Guardian action still on the market.
You know, I've got a lot of power, but I feel like the Hulk is smart and he needs somebody to talk to and go over like sciencey stuff with. So I'm going to go with Shuri. I'm bringing Shuri onto the team because we need, I think we need to beef up the science. We need to beef up the science and the intellect.
All right, so Shuri is going to
Shuri's on
Dan's team.
Yes.
All right, gentlemen, let's recap. Dan,
Yes.
who is your Phase 4 Ultimate Avengers team?
My Phase 4 Ultimate Avengers are, I've got Shuri here, I've got Drax, I've got Captain Marvel, Sam Wilson / Captain America. I've got Doctor Strange, and I've got the Hulk as my Phase 4 Avengers.
That is a pretty strong team. I think that Captain Marvel pickup was clutch.
I think that was a nice steal, yeah.
Ian, your ultimate draft Avengers team?
So I got Rocket Raccoon, the Wasp, War Machine, Valkyrie, Ant-Man, and Thor. So
I feel like your
My
team would be
powerful
good at, you've got strength, but you also have Ant-Man the Wasp. So you
Yeah.
can do some stealth, you can do some heists.
Yeah,
I think
that's like
a
an
pretty
infiltration team.
Yeah, I
essentially.
think that's
Yeah.
almost like a secret Avengers.
setup. It's a perfect
That's a good secret Avengers lineup.
I like that lineup.
All right, give us your final Avengers team.
I got a Quaid. I got the Black Panther. Got a whole nation behind me. I got Winter Soldier. I got Hawkeye. I just feel like he's super nice. He can do a lot of things. I think people take him for granted, but I feel the talent's there. You know what I'm saying?
You need a prankster on the team,
Yeah,
right?
You gotta have somebody. I got Scarlet, and then I got Spidey. He's young, but he gonna be all right. He gonna be all right, man. Spidey gonna be all right, man. I think he one of the strongest Avengers. And he nice, bro. If y'all just watched the new movie, I don't want to spoil nothing, but he going crazy. So with a little more maturity, he gonna be all right.
Well, I think Phase 4, we might call it a rebuilding year a little bit. But you know what? A lot of strong characters. You guys know your stuff. Thank you guys so much for coming by. Melvin Gordon, we have Ian Thomas, and of course, my favorite football player, Dan Murrell.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Let us know in the comments below who your Ultimate Avengers team is, and ultimately, which one of these 3 teams do you think should lead Phase 4? Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you next time.
It was a rebuilding year for this Phase 4. Dan, welcome back to the sunken
Thank
chair.
you. I sunk slowly throughout that video, so I decided let's roll with it.
Just go with it. I dug that. I dug Ian's mix of Asgard and shrinky people.
Yeah.
That was a good blend.
Well, I
and,
think he had some team chemistry. You know what I mean?
Everyone was going for
the
the chemistry play, which is not bad. It's not a bad play to make.
That counts for a lot. Sorry, I'm distracted by Dan. I can't focus.
Well, and much like Ant-Man, Dan will grow right before our eyes.
Here we go.
What?
There he is. Giant man now.
I think maybe Melvin leaned a little too hard on skirmishers. I think Thanos would have snapped all of them in half pretty quickly.
Dude, he went so street level. I mean, I had to respect it, but it was terrible.
It lacks some finesse.
But is the criteria like who would win in a fight, or
your
like
team.
who do you
Who's the
think
best
is the
team?
most fun to watch?
Who's the best team?
Well, I guess that's what our
If you recruit
segment's
a
about.
fantasy team of all starting running backs, you're not well balanced.
So we're gonna do this because I got a little mad. I'm not gonna lie, a little butthurt that I also couldn't do an Avengers fantasy draft. I produced this show, so I was like, I want to do the game. So we're gonna do this. This sounds rigged, but Dan also pulled first pick for this.
I don't know.
Followed by Spencer, myself, and Ed. We're also gonna go snake style. And call me snake. Call me snake. Anyone want to? Everyone. No one fires before this can hits the ground. Little Bangkok rules. Snake Plissken is my #1 draft pick for the Phase 4 Avengers. So as we do this, I kind of want to get everybody's idea of like what you're going for, why you're picking who you're picking, blah 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 blah. Let's jump into it.
Well, can we only pick like announced features and characters, or like just characters Marvel owns?
People that are in the MCU announced,
Kinda currently, yeah.
upcoming or in the MCU.
Announced, currently upcoming, but then in the MCU, like Marvel now owns a lot of properties that have not been announced.
I mean,
per
look,
se.
here's
You cannot put Mr. Fantastic on your team.
All right, fine.
I think that's what they're always angling for, him or Doctor Doom.
Look, Zemo's not on the list,
but I can go Zemo.
And he won't have a graphic, and you'll wreck my, my aesthetic for the show.
We have a handy
But if you
fancy
really
list.
want Zemo,
If you want the buzzy running back from Ball State, you can take him, but you have a pretty good list of.
He is a master strategist.
Look, Mel Kiper gave us these Avengers. 3 people will get that reference. He's an ESPN draft expert. Anyway,
now let's take a look at the All-Stars from the East.
Yeah.
My favorite Key and Peele sketch. All right, let's jump into this. Dan, Here's your
Yes.
first round draft pick.
I'm going to stay predictable. There was a time about a decade ago when it didn't matter what fantasy draft league you were in, you always took LaDainian Tomlinson with the first pick. And to me, I think that's still the Hulk. I think he offers the best value currently of brains and brawn in the MCU. So I know that I picked the Hulk first in the previous draft, but I'm going to remain and still pick the Hulk first. The Hulk is going to go on my team. I want the Hulk.
I would have taken the Ragnarok version of the Hulk simply for like the puka shell necklace, and like I just liked that look for him.
Well, I love toddlers in battle with me. You know what I mean? Just like shake a rattle and throw it in a corner and
have them run for it.
Yeah.
Spencer?
Oh man, I'm so torn on what to do because I feel like the people I really want are going to be available later. So I'm going to start off by picking Captain Marvel.
Okay.
I think she can go to space. She's overpowered. She can take on anything street level with ease. So, but I think we're going into the stratosphere with this one. So I'm going to make sure I have a flyer, a beamer.
No steal in this draft of Captain Marvel.
No.
No.
And if you're talking box office, like I feel like I'm walking down that corner too.
I like it. Okay. I'm trying to figure out what like the weirdest movie. Like I'm trying to just figure out like a really interesting combination of characters. So especially once we're through Phase 4 and we've gone through Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Falcon will be a little more ready to put on his big boy pants and lead an Avengers team. So my draft 1 pick is going to be the Falcon. I'm going to go Sam Wilson.
Okay.
Yeah, leading the team.
Okay. A team leader.
Yeah. I don't know. I just like the idea of the guy that like. I like the idea of everyone questioning whether or not he's able to do it yet, like able to step up. I think, and whether he falls on his face. I think that's an interesting.
So you're just trying to make like an interesting movie, like story dynamics, because like that's not a good team if everyone's like you're the leader.
Right.
The best. I think the best team
Pure
would
story
be
dynamics.
The best team would be a mix of power and dopeness and moviness. I think that would be our criteria for the best team because anybody can go up there and be like, this guy, to beat everybody's ass. Anybody can do that. But if we're trying to make an actual watchable movie, that's also part of the challenge, I think.
Yeah.
And in that respect, my pick, first pick, Thor, because he's funny.
Son of a bitch.
He's so funny. He's very funny. And people like him to be funny.
Should have picked my boy first.
And he also can explode you with lightning.
Yep.
He can explode you with lightning. That is true.
Funny, explode you with lightning. You know what I mean? It comes from good stock.
Is he a racehorse?
I looked at his teeth. He's a movie star. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No.
Oh wait, and I get another pick.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Dr. Strange, biatch. I'm gonna make a magic hole, and a funny ass dude with lightning will fly through it and beat your ass.
Me and Thor. Okay.
I am on your team.
I am here as well.
I'm from New York.
Dr. Strange could do anything but make his accent American. Any other spell.
I lost Thor, so I'm worried. Okay, so I'll just grab my other powerhouse now. I'm going Scarlet Witch.
Nice.
Also because I think after her show, she's going to be a loony bin. And I think throwing the powder keg on the team is interesting. Like maybe they just got to keep an eye on her in case she starts going like this at reality.
Hey, but she throws up those mystical gang signs.
Yep. Duck and cover. Oh man. All right, so I've got Captain Marvel now. So I want to have people that are like on par with her, and I think that the some of the more exciting news from an acting perspective, from a powers perspective, Jane Foster is going to be picking up the mantle of Thor. So I get a Thor and I get a Natalie Portman. I got brains, I got brawn, I got someone that can fly around. Maybe a little, a little rivalry between the two of them. They both seem like pretty confident in their abilities. I think that would be power, tension, box office, acting pedigree, you name it. Lady Thor, Captain Marvel.
Solid.
All right, I get 2 in a row here. I mean, from a resource standpoint, and somebody just that's really going to add to the dynamics of the team, I got to go Black Panther, right? I mean, you've got a whole country behind, as you said in the video, you got a whole country behind you. And so I think you need that. You definitely need Black Panther.
He's got the city on his back.
Yep.
And then also, we're a bit self-serious now. I know that Professor Hulk is a bit more funny, a bit funnier. But I will also go with. I'll put Spidey. I'll put Spidey on my team.
Okay.
So I'll take Black Panther and I'll take Spider-Man.
You guys are going to annihilate
This
me
dude-
in terms of box office interest.
Dude, he went on an agility raid just now. All the agility's off the board.
I like a very lithe team. I put a high premium on litheness.
You guys are stretching out before battles.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so I just lost my favorite with Thor. I'm not happy. So now I'm in panic mode. So I'm just going to start snatching up
Wait.
my...
It goes to Spencer.
Oh, wait, it goes to Spencer. Shoot, yeah.
Hello.
Oh, I'm glad I didn't say who I
Wait,
wanted.
where's my next pick?
You get 2 in a row after Spencer and Joe go.
Oh.
Okay. So I'm definitely a cosmic-based team. I need someone who can hang. Maybe someone who can provide, like, be the cue to their James Bond. Maybe fly him around when they are tired of flying. Do you get tired flying? I don't know. What
guess
muscle
you'd
do you
have to,
use?
right?
Are you
Yeah.
just clenching your
I
ass
think
as hard
it's
as you
glutes
can?
and calves. I want to say it's glutes and calves. You just sort of flex them back. Yeah.
And also some comic relief. So I'm going Rocket Raccoon to pair with Captain Marvel and Jane Thor Foster.
That is a lot of science between Jane and Rocket. That's a very scientific team.
But different approaches to science. I feel
Yes.
like Rocket's just kind of more of an engineer, kind of cobbling it together.
That's
Jane's more slow and steady.
All right, full panic mode. Lost my favorite character. Gonna go with my second favorite in the MCU. I'm gonna roll some of my tech and then my street level fighter into one. I'm going Nebula. I think she's probably the most underrated character on screen so far in the MCU. She's my
Which
favorite.
Nebula? Aren't there like 2 of her?
No, there's 2
running around?
Gamoras now.
Oh, okay.
That would be interesting too. Like before Star-Lord finds her, new Gamora just ends up on the Avengers would be kind of fun. But I'm going to continue the redemption tour of Nebula.
All right, Ed, you get 2 in a row.
I am the Melvin Gordon of this video right now because I am taking this way seriously now. This is getting super serious. Like there's a little.
Everyone's posture definitely changed a little bit.
dude,
like, everyone's starting to go like
Sweating bullets.
Okay, in the interest of chemistry and a certain amount of power jazz. Okay, I get 2 picks, right? I am picking Loki and Ant-Man.
Oh,
damn. Okay.
I can get super big. I got another magician, and I got a magician to watch my magician.
I like it. Yeah, Loki. You got Loki right there.
You have Loki, Thor, Doctor Strange. It's very perfect.
no, I didn't know you've awakened. I've made you an impossibly large fruit salad.
Dude,
for very cosmic.
He's gonna do some magic, make you a frittata. There's a lot going on with
There's so
Loki.
much going on in that.
So I
weird
feel like
Chinese mobile commercial.
And you know what? I think I've picked my team based upon like I don't like magic. I don't understand.
No, you
it.
don't. Yeah, you're not a fan.
It is super powerful, and in the Marvel universe, it has these distinct rules. So I'm trying to make my team of magicians that can take up for each other. They don't have to be like if Doctor Strange is doing a bunch of spells and he's really into it. These other guys can protect him while he's doing all that.
All right. I'm gonna go Wasp for pick number 4. I think she's got some cool power sets. She's still a little street level-y. She can do a head scissor takedown just as well as say a Black Widow.
And she's funny.
Yeah, she's funny. She's got little energy blasts. Going Wasp.
Who's up?
You're up.
I'm up.
Takes it to
So
you.
for my final
Well,
slot.
are we doing 5 or 4? How many rounds?
How many rounds?
We can do 5.
All right.
Okay, all right, fine.
Next, the penultimate pick.
Okay. In that case, if I've got another slot, I've got Captain Marvel, I've got Jane, Thor Foster, I've got Rocket Raccoon. I feel like I'm powerful enough. So I want... Who's my Hawkeye? And it's not Hawkeye. I don't want to take Hawkeye.
Who's my Hawkeye? It's like when they say, "Oh yeah, I want a Patrice O'Neal type."
Yeah, who's my just
Who's
like...
that?
Who's my call it out, call it the way it is, like the classic Marvel lampshading person? I'm going to go Korg. I'm gonna bring Korg onto this team.
Interesting.
Maybe Rocket can build him an exosuit or something so he can kind of actually be out there on the missions. But I really like the dynamic of Rocket, Korg, Captain Marvel, and Jane.
Yeah, I'm not gonna argue that. I think that's pretty solid.
Okay.
Dan, who are your
These are my next.
final
these
two
are my last.
picks?
My final 2 picks. So I have to get this right.
It's important.
It's very important.
What we're doing is a big
critically
deal.
important here. There's so many different ways that you could go. I'm tempted to move toward Vision, but there's too many question marks. He doesn't have an Infinity Stone anymore. I don't know what his state of mind is going to be. I feel like he's a wild card. He already paralyzed one of these people. So, yeah, you know what? I'm going to go with War Machine. I think you need a military man in there. I think you need a guy he's got the armor, he's got the suit, he's got the experience. He's been there from the beginning. So I'm going to go with War Machine. I'm putting War Machine on there. And then Black Panther is a great war. I think I need another good warrior, like a scrapper, like a great fighter. So I'm going Gamora. I'm going to bring Gamora on the team. Because I think
Blade or Shang-Chi?
I thought about Blade, but Blade's got his own thing going on. I don't know. I mean, Blade would be
Constantly, yeah.
He doesn't play well with others.
Unless every mission for the Avengers is hunting vampires.
Are there vampires on this
I don't know how. Everything would be. It's just like Thanos has returned, and Blade would just be like,
Is he a vampire?
"Did he bring vampires?" I don't know. I just don't know how well Blade is going to go with everything. So,
No, Blade.
no, Blade did not bring vampires.
You have to use all this. Well, you, Dan, would be the perfect person to use all your movie fights knowledge. Be like, well, actually, Thanos has energy absorption powers, which is technically
an energy vampire, yeah.
Technically a brand of vampirism.
I don't think you could sell Blade on that. I think you'd be like, no.
He's like, Dan, stop trying to ice skate uphill.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
Is he in the sun? Yes, then he's not a vampire. So yeah, I will round my team out with Gamora.
Solid.
That's my final.
Solid. Spencer, who's your
Thank you,
final
Dan, for leaving Vision on the board. I feel like Vision rounds out my team perfectly. He can hang in space. He's like, who knows what his personality's like, but I've got 3 scientists, 2 scientists with me. Who knows about Korg, what kind of advanced degrees he may or may not have.
Yeah.
They can tinker around in his head, soup him up, and he's kind of the stoic straight man of my team. I think I've got the perfect team. I'm gonna
like it.
I'm gonna stop it there.
I like it a lot. All right. I need one more heavy-ish hitter for this group. And I was gonna go Valkyrie. But there's something funny to me about Cassie Lang with Pym particles being on a team with the lady who's banging her dad. And just trying to get along with her, especially if there's I don't like my stepmom syndrome going on.
Dude, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, and they've kind of set it up to where she can't not like her stepmom because her stepmom has saved her dad a bunch of times.
That's fair. That's fair. She's not going to be a bad. I'm going to go. I'm sticking with Valkyrie. I'm sticking with my guns. I'm closing out with Valkyrie. Because that's a fun dynamic with Falcon too, where you have the current Queen of Asgard constantly questioning the dude's decisions. Because one time an old man handed him a shield. That's okay. That's my team: Falcon, Nebula, Scarlet Witch, Wasp, and Valkyrie. I'm digging it.
All right, can I get a quick board check? Who's on everybody's team? I've crossed out almost every damn body on here. How many? I think I have 4 people on my team now.
One person remaining. This is your last pick. This is the last pick.
Closes
So
it out.
we're all supposed to have 5.
These 2 are gone.
Yeah.
Yes, you're all supposed to have 5. You currently have 4.
Yeah, I do. I'm looking at them. All right. Well, you all know me.
Talos.
Contrarian to the end. So, here comes M'Baku in space. No, okay. I would love to see M'Baku in space. Okay, but not right now. Not right now. Not on my team right now. I'm trying to not go to street level. As you can see, the weakest person on my team can become 5,000 feet tall.
Yeah.
And I got a transporter / super powerhouse in Doctor Strange. I got super duper powerhouse in Thor, and I got somebody to mess with Thor, who is very, very powerful in Loki. So my last pick. Oh, you jerks! You picked War Machine. That's the thing. I envisioned War Machine danger zoning through a Doctor Strange sphere. You know what I mean? I had visions of that in my head when we first started doing this, and I was like, and now that I can't do it, I'm
You're
really
shattered.
I'm really verklempt right now.
Go Shuri. She could build a.
This is my thing. When you got magic, you don't need science. Which is kind of why I hate magic. You know what I mean?
Well, they're the same thing.
So I got to say, my last pick, I think I want to go with somebody that these guys, when Thor and Loki aren't fighting, the rest of Ant-Man's pretty funny.
You're stalling, Ed. Come on. Your clock is running down.
Okay. Groot, final answer.
Okay.
Groot, final answer.
Is Groot your team leader?
He is Groot. I just think Groot on the team. I think let's talk about some story dynamics with our teams, because I think some of our teammates yearning to get back to each other over the course of these movies. Like we split up some duos. Rocket isn't on the team with Groot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Thor is estranged from Korg. He needs to play some Fortnite. How can we defeat these enemies so I can get together with my friend and play some Fortnite? You know what I mean? We split up the gang a little bit.
Yeah. Dan?
I like my team, but I feel like I am missing the cosmic or magical element. I feel like in an Earthbound setting, I have a very exceptionally strong team, but I will acknowledge that it is somewhat susceptible to a more cosmic threat. I am missing that kind of power on my team, so I'm very proud of the team that I've assembled, but I will say that there may be some team-ups required if the threat calls for it.
They might have to make some calls.
My team may have to call Spencer's team and say like, hey,
We can spare Korg.
we got to go to space. Well, that's cool.
Well, let's look at some notable didn't get drafted.
Wait, don't you need your final pick, Dan?
I did.
Oh, you
Yeah,
did.
yeah,
Okay,
easy.
so my final.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Great.
So notable didn't get drafted. Star-Lord. I really think he got hurt with his combine performance in Infinity War.
Yeah.
Too emotional.
Yeah.
Locker room cancer.
It's not charming anymore.
He failed the Wonderlick test.
Yeah.
They gave him the Wonderlick test and he failed it.
Yeah. Ever since that Thanos blunder, his draft stock has plummeted.
Drax, I'm surprised by.
Yeah.
He's good, but I mean he's brute strength, but it's just again it's we were thick with brute strength this year.
Yeah.
and-
Well, it's
Also,
like,
kind of cut out of Endgame, maybe due to off the field issues for Batista. So
he got picked up for. He's gonna get picked up in free agency. Someone will get drafted.
Yeah.
oh yeah, no, he's not going to be on the buyout market. That's what's going to happen. Yeah.
We all, feel like we all resisted the new car smell of Blade and Shang-Chi.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, again, no, Blade was not a new car thing. Again, it's non-vampire related missions. I just don't know what he brings to the table.
There is a version of my team where I picked Shang-Chi and Blade to be an infiltration team.
Yeah.
To go break fools off. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Those scenes would be really wonderful
great,
of Shang-Chi coming in, breaking them off with they're doing the martial arts break you off team.
And then Nick Fury, where arguably there would be no Avengers without a Nick Fury. You know, we need a coach. It's like drafting Bill Belichick. That's an
just did
NFL
Nick
thing.
Fury's job. We literally just did
fair.
90% of what Nick Fury's function has been, which is to assemble.
Yep.
We did it.
Remember?
Yeah, we assembled.
Remember back in the day in Avengers comics when like the issue would be like, who are going to be the new Avengers? And the issue, the cover would always be like Captain America with a bunch of literally like draft cards, just like staring at him on the table.
Yeah.
It'd be funny if they had a bunch of Marvel Universe handbooks open, just looking at people's powers. We're like,
Yeah,
Their stats. I had those trading cards where it actually had their levels.
Yeah.
little
Power, actual
power levels,
statistical-
yeah.
It could have saved a lot of internet arguments if we just gone by the canon is the number on the back of the trading
Of
card.
the Topps card.
Yes.
Yeah. I wish we needed to do like an early 90s before the MCU when the Avengers were still a joke draft so that we were just all arguing over like Jack of Hearts and like
well,
Lionheart.
Yeah.
There are a lot of heart themed
and Shadowhawk. Anyway, the point is, I'm looking at my team. I gotta say, man, I'm not trying to be competitive, but I think my team's pretty dope because I have wizards and I have magic and I have space alien dudes, but I also have a lot of humor in Ant-Man and Groot. I think Ant-Man. Ant-Man learning how to deal with Loki's duplicity and weirdness of being Asgardian and stuff, and Groot being weird and not
I don't
having
think they'd hang out.
vocabulary.
That's the problem is you have an interpersonal time bomb with Thor and Loki, and you recruited the most notorious traitor in the history of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
We have to have a movie, Dan. We have to have a movie. And all Avengers movies have some sort of dissension in the ranks.
They always end up fighting each
That
other
is true.
before
They
they
do.
get
I mean, so
something.
I had to throw something in there. I had to. There was because if one of you guys hadn't got smart and picked Rocket, I wouldn't have had Loki. I would have picked Rocket and Groot for chemistry reasons. Because for chemistry reasons, I would sacrifice the brute power that Loki has. I mean, he was the villain more or less in the first Avengers movie.
I feel like Ant-Man's going to be lonely if Thor gets mopey again, because he's the only
Well, that's kind of his job.
quipster.
though.
only quipster there.
Yeah.
You know? But it's like, who's he going to quip to? No
Yeah.
one?
Well, I mean, Doctor Strange has a very dry wit.
That's true.
I think they would joust with each other, and also Groot.
I feel like
Very dry wit.
Nebula can graduate to quipster finally for me. Very cruel, dark-humored quipster that doesn't understand why like dead baby jokes
Yeah,
aren't
she
funny.
could be like,
Like-
she could be the Aubrey Plaza of your.
Yes, yeah, she's my Aubrey
Like
Plaza.
a roast battle
Yeah.
Nebula.
I dig the idea of like Scarlet Witch could go at any time, and Nebula's like, "I'll just stab her if I need to," and everyone else is like, "That's not."
Well, she's gonna have a Wolverine vibe on your team.
I think so.
You
Yeah.
know, random stabbings, also a little bit of I have a lot of experience, and you guys are really pissing me off because you're just little kids compared to me. Like I've been
Yeah.
in space, like
Yeah.
genociding a bunch.
Yeah.
And I just really want you to understand. Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, maybe.
A couple of fact checks from the chat, just to be
Oh,
sure. The
fact checks from the chat.
So the Loki that would be on this team would be a just gotten beat up by Hulk.
It is. You recruited.
Avengers Loki. So
Yeah.
while he wouldn't have been as reformed, so I don't think that changes the dynamic overall. That thing, and then Gamora, this would be the Gamora that Dan
Yes.
had would have to be
The new one.
Doesn't know.
Doesn't know what's going
Yeah.
on. No,
New Gamora.
Gamora. It is new Gamora. That is true.
Which I like.
And Vision counts, but we don't know how he's in the WandaVision series. He was on stage at the comic
Yeah,
book panel.
but he's a space-worthy Vision. That's all I'm requiring of him is that he can survive in the vacuum of space. He doesn't need an Infinity Stone.
He just shows up with a bunch of duct tape.
Rocket Raccoon could duct tape his head to a gun for all I care.
I will say that
Our very empowered vice challenge. Shut up. Meow, meow, meow.
because they weren't drafted, and I think that you guys all missed a strategy point because they are not currently on a team. Because I have Black Panther, I feel like I also got Okoye, Shuri, and M'Baku because Shuri and M'Baku because they're all part of the
Very
same team, and they're not signed currently with other teams.
Well,
so I feel like
with Korg and Jane Foster's Thor and Rocket Raccoon and stuff, I feel like I get the Grandmaster. I get Jeff Goldblum's Grandmaster as well. He's
Well,
their
then-
Nick Fury. He's
well,
the one
then-
who calls them together for
Then I got all
an
the
orgy
ancient-
that then turns into a mission.
Then I got all the ancient ones. Then what are we doing here?
Yeah, I don't know what's happening now. I get Maria Hill by proxy.
And Galaga Guy.
And Galaga Guy.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. I think we've solved this.
good job.
Hit us in the comments with your 5. I want to see what they are. This is one of my favorite stupid things to do. At some point when they announce an X-Men movie, you had better believe we will have someone else do this, and then I will get angry that I wasn't invited, and I will just make us do it again.
Just do it again.
Guys, this is SJU on Fandom Entertainment. Make sure you like and subscribe. Thank you very much. Hit that bell. Ryan.
Let's try that.
We've got a lot of cool stuff coming up that you guys are going to dig. We've got 2 articles we want to let you know about on fandom.com right now. Also, make sure you're checking that stuff out. Lon's writing some really cool stuff on fandom.com. Danielle's on there. We've got some really cool editorial stuff. We've got a look at the other Black Widow who will be introduced in the upcoming Black Widow movie. How she could have a big role moving forward, sort of also digging through the quagmire of like how can this prequel movie actually like set up and support Phase 4, which is a cool read. And then another one of our writers, Alistair Gray, took a look at Taskmaster, who is probably one of the most... Is he still underrated in Marvel Comics?
Well, he's like we just did a whole sports metaphor, so I can say this. He's like the draftnik and the numbers geeks favorite character now. He's like really in vogue in hipster Marvel Twitter.
Got it. Who is the villain in the Black Widow film. Now it's weird to me that like somewhere in all of those weird phases, Black Widow just like randomly fought like one of the biggest comics villains right now.
But he's also a perfect villain for her though, because like she's all about all these techniques, and he's about technique, and then her other sub.
Yeah, he like mimics any fighting style. So
Mm-hmm.
she's gonna try to head scissor, and he's just gonna head scissor, and they're just gonna fling each other around by the ankles. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
Ankles interlocked.
The ankles interlock. Everybody, nobody wins. Nobody wins. So make sure you guys check those out. Let's jump onto this. Let's jump onto another team up, if you will. Ben Affleck and Matt Damon reuniting.
Feels so good.
This is via Deadline. They're teaming up with Ridley Scott to write and star in a movie called The Last Duel. This is a revenge story based on a novel by Eric Yeager, which is a great name. And this is it's like a medieval French like revenge story, I believe.
And I think it's about the very actually last duel. That was actually sanctioned.
Yeah, that was actually sanctioned. So it's two guys. Something happens to one of their wives, and there's very high stakes sort of involved around the duel. If memory serves, and by memory, I mean the paragraph I read right before we went live.
You haven't read The Last Duel?
So sources say the script is done. It was written by Damon and Affleck, along with Nicole Holocenter, who wrote Can You Ever Forgive Me and Friends with Money. I think this is cool. Hang on, I'm bearing the lead because according to also the story, this is spreading because of a photo of Matt Damon literally just carrying the script that had the title, who was written by and who was being directed by, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, what?"
That seems reliable.
Nothing more reliable than that. So I'm hoping that more A-list talent starts to troll people by just like carrying ridiculous script
projects.
covers. Yeah, I think that would be incredible.
I'm gonna walk around with a Luke Cage script.
Yeah,
Nobody's gonna believe it.
Starring me as Luke Cage.
Yeah.
Directed by Bill Murray.
Hey, middle-aged Luke Cage coming in 2021.
Loving it. But this is the Good Will Hunting team teaming up with Ridley Scott. What do you guys think?
Are they going to duel? Are they going to duel at the end?
I think so.
That's cool. I want to see a Damon Affleck duel. Like, I'll bet they are chomping at the bit to finally fight each other on screen.
Like to actually fight?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's like a French duel, so they're gonna smack each other with gloves and then walk a little ways and then turn around and shoot each other with flintlock pistols.
They'll,
You know what I mean?
30 seconds of reloading.
Yeah.
Do you think they're gonna go full fop, just like a lot of blush and a wig?
Yes.
Well, dude, Ben Affleck trying to be a fop is going to be the funniest damn thing in the world.
Both of them like Nicholas Hoult in The Favorite, just full powder pancake makeup and tights, just slapping at each other. Yeah, I'd watch that. I'm excited to see that they. Is it the first thing they've written together since Good Will Hunting?
I think so.
It's got to be, right?
Dan, you know everything.
I mean, they've been.
I do not.
If you have the choice between writing and being a movie star, be a movie star. But it's exciting to see that they haven't stopped trying to write screenplays together. So we'll see if. I think we'll see if Good Will Hunting was a fluke or if they're great writers. Like their first big movie and they won the Oscar for best screenplay.
Well, do you remember when not Manchester by the Sea, but something by the sea, where it was like Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt, and they were in a movie together, this little like vanity project together. It's like if they had gotten Ridley Scott to direct that. That's what this seems to be. Like this weird little, hey buddy, vanity project, and then you get Ridley Scott on it. Like, it's like having Ridley Scott shoot your home videos or something. You know, it's really insular for like such a big director. So that's one thing I'm excited about. I don't know that it's going to be some super runaway hit, but I think it'd be great if it was a runaway hit with these guys playing fops and the full, what's that movie? The one
Barry Lyndon.
Yeah. Full Barry Lyndon. Lit by candles.
Lyndon, yes.
This thing's lit
All
by
natural
candles.
lighting.
No lights. Cheesecloth, candles, let's get nuts.
Yeah.
Dan, will this be
Cheesecloth, candles, syphilis, cousin loving, let's get nuts.
Whole 9 yards.
Dude, lice in our wigs.
Yep.
Let's go.
Merci beaucoup.
Yeah.
Dan?
Yeah.
Will this be great?
Oh. Maybe. Maybe not. No, Ridley Scott is.
Tell us definitively. That's our job.
Right? What?
Ridley Scott's hit and
A
miss.
little bit, but then almost every director is. Very rare to find a director that's like hit. Let's like Denis Villeneuve maybe.
So far.
He's so far. But he's young. Yep. Yeah, exactly. It's. I don't know.
Yeah, wait till he does that script he's had for 13 years. You know, and it's like,
Dune.
Dude,
oh
we'll see.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we
Yeah.
should have put Dune characters into our MCU draft.
Yeah.
Does that count? I'll take a
think so.
sandworm. I'll take a
I
sandworm
think
in the second
eventually
round.
everyone will count. Spencer and I were debating on whether or not to include Rey and Kylo Ren because we know it's probably going to happen.
They're going to do a
at some point.
flyby in Phase 5, I'm sure.
Yep.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
dude.
if it'll be like the Patton Oswalt to the pitch from Parks
Yeah.
and Recreation, which I think now Disney owns all of that. Yeah, I mean, if they got Damon and Affleck to do this story, that certainly does half of your marketing work for you.
Yeah.
All you have to do is put the two of them on a poster together, like pointing guns at each other, and that's you just call it a day.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So good job.
Yeah, it's a throwback when movies were trying to just get you to see it based on star power, and I don't think one star does it anymore, but what if I told you there were 2 stars?
2 Utah.
2 Utah.
What if I told you that they were buddies? What if I told you that the last time they wrote something, they won an Oscar? What if I? Yeah, it just gets nuts.
I do like that it's
Piles
not
on
just.
itself.
It's interesting that it's not just star power, but it's like the meta of the story behind them is what's
Sure.
going to like get people interested.
Yeah.
Because I know for a long time people were like, oh, they had kind of a falling out when Ben Affleck became a huge star and stuff like that. That was always sort of around the
I don't think
campfire.
that was a falling out.
No, I don't think any of that happened.
And things
but
never happen that simply, but along the same time as Homeboy was becoming a star, you do start to get estranged. You start to get your own camps. You used to be 2 dudes that kicked it with each other every day,
Yeah,
riding
in like
bikes.
a flop house in like West Hollywood or
Right,
something, and now it's
right.
like you're dating J-Lo. Wow.
Yeah,
Do
it's
you want
like
to
weird.
drink a
It's like-
beer? Like, no, you don't have time.
J-Lo doesn't like carbs, so that kind of makes me not like carbs.
Yeah.
Also, I got this new script, Geely, I'm working on, so I can't do this cool thing with you, Courage Under Fire, or what? You know what I mean? It's like, all of that compound up.
It's weird. Remember when Matt Damon and Ben Affleck flip-flopped careers? Because after Good Will Hunting, Matt Damon was like the
dude.
the blockbuster guy, and
Yeah.
Ben Affleck was like the indie guy, and then they just went like that. And
Reindeer Games was the turning point.
Reindeer Games.
What was the turning point?
I think Born. Born Identity, I think, was the because I remember when Born Identity came out, we were like, Matt Damon, action star? No. And then it was like, oh, okay, he can do it, and then he just was. Then he just kind of did what he did.
Ran with it.
It's also the thing about like the perfect role. There are action stars, and then there are people who can play an action star. You know what I mean? Like I feel like Harrison Ford got to do a lot of action type roles, but he was really just a great actor who could do that stuff. And then you got like Jason Statham, who like if he's not vaulting something, I don't want to see him. You know? I think that's the difference between an action star and an actor who could be an action.
What's my
movie.
punching
Affleck
motivation?
was like he was like the box office powerhouse too. After that, like, and Matt Damon was just like all the pretty horses and Bagger Vance. You're like, ugh. And then
about
right
Bagger
around
Vance.
2001.
He was born again.
Things changed, exactly.
Yeah, I think we'll trace it back to him buying a really big house. That was like, I gotta start making some hits, bro.
Yeah.
Damn these horses.
All these pretty horses ain't cheap. Those horses may be pretty, but they're not paying the bills.
You ever try to take a horse down to the gas company? You can make him into glue. You can ride him.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do. No, anyway. So yeah.
All right. I'm going to transition into our sad third story somehow. I don't know how to do it. Rutger Hauer passed on Friday. His funeral was today. His family sort of waited until today to formally make the announcement that he had passed away at the age of 75. Hauer was just an actor's actor. He's all over the 70s and 80s. Blade Runner, Tears and Rain is probably the big notable thing for Rutger Hauer, but I mean, this is the dude. Like his IMDb credit list is insane. He was always working. He absolutely just never stopped. I think how many things did he have in progress or in development?
I was looking it up. I believe it was like 2 movies that were waiting to be released, like 2 in post production and 3 in pre production.
Yeah,
The guy was
it's just ridiculous. TV, video games. Wow, I got really southern. I apologize. Movies, all over the
games?
place. Video games.
I like him in that Kingdom Hearts franchise. He plays Xehanort.
He was at Xehanort.
Well, he always worked, but he seemed like one of those guys who was like with Blade Runner and The Hitcher and stuff in the 80s was like this very like popular cult guy who was in a bunch of stuff that influenced a bunch of filmmakers, and then 20 years later they started making movies, and they were just like it's sort of the Tarantino effect of like Rutger Hauer and like kind
Yeah.
of grabbed him and put him in stuff more, which then sort of resuscitated and revived his career a little bit. So it's I mean, not a lot of people have the kind of presence that he just brought a weight to things. Even that kind of a nothing. The Batman Begins, like that nothing part of the, didn't you get the memo? Like he brings a kind of a menacing quality. Like you get that character. He doesn't have to do a whole lot as far as like. You don't have to establish on the page like, oh, that CEO's a real snake. Watch out for him. Like, no, he brought that. You cast
You
Rutger
saw it in the
Hauer in that
eyes,
part,
you saw
you're
it,
like,
yeah.
oh, this guy is. You don't mess with this guy.
Well, that's a great point. That when you cast him, 70-80% of it, whatever it is done because he brings that much to it. That's a great point, dude.
Yeah. I think he was a super unlikely leading man in Lady Hawk. I think that's the reason why I like that movie so much. He was, not the guy that you would consider, as the prototypical, like, square job, very handsome, like, knight in shining armor dude, but I think that's what made him work so well as a romantic lead. I think if you had done Lord of the Rings in the 80s, that's your Aragorn. I think he's just, he is like the rugged, I just walked out of the woods.
But he could also play like a weird high elf. And dudes, don't at me. I don't really know fantasy like that, but I can see him being like that sort of like, that overly officious, like, and just like, the most square jawed elf.
He actually would do a pretty good Elrond.
Yeah,
he could have pulled off Elrond.
Definitely.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And when I was a kid, he was in a bunch of things that people who are scenists would call trash. He was in Wedlock, it was called Deadlock at the time. It was on HBO Films. Him and Mimi Rogers were put in a co-ed prison.
I'm listening.
And the reason why people didn't do anything or get weird or whatever or try to escape is they had these things around their necks to where if you got more than such and such amount of feet away from the person you were deadlocked with, both of you guys' devices would explode.
That's how Slipknot died.
Right. So jeez Louise.
R.I.P.
So, I thought you were talking about the band for a second. So then basically in that movie, him and Mimi Rogers they don't know that they're partners, and they find that basically the whole plot of the movie is they find out that they're each other's partners so that they can escape. Nobody knows who their partner is, so nobody ventures outside the system. So they escape and they just go on the road and they go to motels and they just have this basically road movie together while they're escaping horrible danger. But like, he's just so charming and stuff like that. Blind Fury, Hobo with a Shotgun. There's so many things where he's like production value, for lack of a better word, for some of these movies. You know what I mean? And I love people who want to work, and maybe they're not so hot they can be the A-list this or even B-list that, but they want to work and they're willing to lend their gravitas to other filmmakers and stuff. And like Harvey Keitel is basically responsible for Quentin Tarantino for better or worse. He saw Reservoir Dogs and decided, I'll be in this.
Yeah.
It was the person that got attached and all the rest of the stuff that happened after that. So when an actor like that gives you that vote of confidence by being in your little thing.
And Alex Guinness or Michael Caine.
Boom. And he did that for so many people.
Yeah.
And I just think I don't want us to lose that part of his legacy.
Yeah, no. To go back to Blade Runner, I think that so much of that movie feels very cold, and I feel like that's one of the points of the movie. It's supposed to feel sort of detached and cold, and almost like there's a sickness in the future. But the irony of him, playing a replicant. Sorry, I'm going. Yeah, sorry. Is he's one of the only thing. Obviously Harrison Ford might also be a replicant, and ends up being one, but Rutger Hauer feels like the only person who's actually like flesh and blood and has like
ironically,
red-blooded, running naked through the hallways.
That he improvised or wrote himself. That
speech.
That speech. So. Yeah, the word you threw out gravitas, and I feel like that gets thrown around and applied to like too liberally because like he really had like a gravity to every scene he was in that just like it sucked you in. So I don't know, it's not like a traditional movie star look quality, but like he just couldn't look away from his face, and I mean that in the best way possible.
Yeah. And Blade Runner doesn't work unless he nails that final scene.
No.
Unless he talks about Tears and Rain and the things that he's seen, and that's the irony of the movie is that the replicant is the brings the humanity because it's not wanting to not exist anymore. He's bringing in that human sense of preservation and salvation and life, which the humans have lost all respect for, and it's he makes that scene makes that movie work.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
It's the entire movie done in one scene, and
And also, it's one of those things. It cannot be lost that like it's one of the times when the actor has some great idea, and it really is a great idea.
Yeah,
that should be canonized and lionized. Like, if you do not have, Robert Shaw doing the speech in Jaws, or this, shut up and read your lines. If you don't have one of these two things, just shut up and read your lines.
You say, first let's get what's on the script, then we can we'll play around.
Yeah. Then while you're playing around, I turn the cameras off and go eat a sandwich, because you know what? No. But yeah, you're right.
But with Rutger, that's the one guy that good director goes, yeah, we'll do that. We will absolutely do that.
And he earned that also. He earned that right to be able to do that stuff because he really did so much work on that character. He really did a real bio. People talk about writing bios. He wrote a bio for a robot. Mess with that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Guys, help us celebrate this actor in the comments. Help us say goodbye to him. Send him off. He really was. If you're a movie fan, I mean, he's just. Like a blue collar. I don't know, like a blue collar, roll up your sleeves level.
Well, that gets thrown around a lot too.
I'm not going to put a hat on a hat. You guys nailed this. That's our show today. Charting with Dan is out. Honest Trailers is out. Honest Trailers commentary. Honest Trailer commentaries comes
Also out
today. Yes, at 10. So it is also out. Screen Junkies show with Hal over at San Diego Comic-Con is out. Make sure you guys check that stuff.
Destroy the view count.
Destroy the view count, as Ryan says in the script. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good day.